Hello everybody, and welcome back to One Nerd to Rule Them All. And in today's video, we are going to be looking into the elf who stood alone against a corrupt Maya. He fell but did not fade. This is the tale of Glorfindel, warrior of Gondolin, and one of the few souls in Tolkien's entire Legendarium to conquer death itself. Most never knew it was him. Let's get into the video. Glorfindel first enters Tolkien's epic during the First Age, at one of the earliest and most mythic periods of Middle-earth's history. He was a noble of Gondolin, a hidden elven city founded by Turgon, High King of the Noldor. Gondolin was a marvel, a shining city built in secret amongst the Echorath, the encircling mountains. It was protected by the gods themselves, and many believed it untouchable. Glorfindel's name in Sindarin means golden hair, and that was not just a metaphor. He was tall, radiant, noble of bearing, a shining figure even among the proud Noldor. A warrior, yes, but also a spiritual presence. A figure Tolkien described as highly exceptional, almost angelic, in later writings. But no fortress stands forever, and no light escapes shadow for long. In the year 510 of the First Age, Gondolin was betrayed from within. Maeglin, a bitter noble consumed by jealousy and fear, revealed its location to Morgoth, the first and greatest Dark Lord. In one apocalyptic night, Morgoth's armies, orcs, balrogs, and even fire-breathing dragons descended upon the hidden city. Amid the chaos, Glorfindel fought valiantly to protect the fleeing survivors. He led the defenders of the mountain pass, guiding survivors through the perilous terrain, but they were pursued. And in a narrow defile called Cirithonarath, the Eagle's Cleft, a balrog caught up to them. Glorfindel, knowing escape was impossible unless someone stood and fought, turned to face the ancient beast. Their duel was terrible. Fire against light, shadow against spirit. They fell together, locked in death, tumbling from the cliff into the abyss. Glorfindel's body was recovered by Thorondor, Lord of Eagles, and buried by the survivors in a mound that later grew with grass and flowers, even in the cold mountain. A sign, some say, that the Valar had not forgotten him. For elves, death is not oblivion, but it is not rebirth either. Their souls, or fae, return to the halls of Mandos in Valinor, the land of the Valar across the sea. There they wait, sometimes for eons, reflecting on their lives, often never to return. But Glorfindel was different. His sacrifice was so noble, his spirit so untainted by pride, that the Valar judged him worthy, not just of peace, but of return. He was re-embodied, clothed in a new form that was spiritually and physically perfected, a rare honour only granted to the most exalted elves. Tolkien describes him in later writings as being purged and hollowed. When he returned, he was no longer simply Glorfindel of Gondolin, but a being most Maya-like in stature, an emissary of divine will. Glorfindel was sent back to Middle-earth sometime during the Second Age, likely in secret, and likely around the time when Sauron was rising again. He may have aided Gil-galad and Elrond in their early resistance against Sauron, and some believe he was instrumental in founding Rivendell as a haven against darkness. He became a chief counselor of Elrond and remained in Middle-earth all the way into the Third Age, but for centuries he was a quiet guardian, operating in the background, his true nature known to only a small few. Glorfindel emerges once again during the Fellowship of the Ring, but only in the book, as Frodo flees from the Black Riders towards Rivendell. It is Glorfindel, not Arwen, who finds him. He places Frodo on his horse, Asfaloth, and commands the steed to ride ahead. When the Nine pursue, Glorfindel does not retreat. He steps into the fort of Bruin, radiating a spiritual light so intense that the Nazgul hesitate in fear. "You shall have neither the ring nor me," cries Frodo, but the terror the ringwraiths feel is from Glorfindel. Tolkien describes that, in their Wraith world, Glorfindel appears as a shining being, a white flame, a reminder that he has walked the West, and has been touched by the power of the Valar. For decades, Tolkien scholars debated, was the Glorfindel of the Lord of the Rings the same as the one from the Silmarillion? After all, how could an elf from a long-fallen city return in a new age? But Tolkien resolved this himself. In his letters and notes from the 1950s and 60s, he confirmed, yes, it is the same Glorfindel, returned from Valinor, and sent back to Middle-earth. He is one of the very few immortal beings to die, return, and continue his work. A living echo of the ancient world, walking amongst the fading shadows of the Third Age. In the end, Glorfindel is not just a warrior, he is a bridge between the time of legends and the age of man, between death and rebirth, and between light and shadow. His story reminds us that in Tolkien's world, heroism is not always loud, and true greatness often walks unrecognised. That brings us to the end of today's video. Down in the description you will find 2 links. The first, my partner Rothmer's channel, so if you enjoy MMOs and action RPGs, then please feel free to take a look at that. And if you enjoy Warhammer content, then might I recommend looking at our joint channel, where Rothmer and I build, paint, and will soon be battling our Warhammer armies against each other. Anyway, that'll be it from me today. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are in the world. And as always, bye guys.